Hey everyone, this is Scott from Phoenix Designs, Iowa. Yep, I know, changed the name again. This will be the last time, I promise. There was a bit of a change with the hobby. I'm going to try making a go at it as far as like a regular, legitimate business. So I've expanded. I'll be making these on the regular. This is just half of one. Dice boxes, rolling trays of all kinds. Signs, all kinds of things, as well as normal hobby stuff like painting, terrain making, things like that. So feel free to follow me at Phoenix Designs Iowa here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Just trying to grow the channel right now, and any interaction would help. Share, like, subscribe, everything really helps me a lot, and I really appreciate it. I truly do. It's that type of interaction that helps me stay motivated. It's been a real rough year for me, both physically and mentally, and just trying to get back on the hobby horse, or back into the hobby, not a literal hobby horse, because that would be weird. Watching a 6 foot tall, 280 pound man on a little tiny hobby horse, but that might get some views. I don't know. Anyway, so in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to go from a primed Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum type of guy to a fully painted, batch painted Astra Militarum Imperial Guard guy. The style's not for everybody. I get it. You know, each to their own. That's awesome. I'm just going to show you the way I've kind of broken it down. Similar to the way that I did the Black Legion, the Chaos Marines. Here's all the colors you're going to need right over here. We've got Contrast Gilliman Flesh, Contrast Militarum Green, Contrast Snakebite Leather, Contrast Black Templar. A couple of Vallejo model colors. We've got 70.961 Sky Blue and 70.851 Bright Orange. Those are going to be used for accents, eyes, things like that. Follow it all up with Talent in a Bottle, Agrax Earthshade, and that's just about it. Of course, you can always add any other colors you like too. Nothing wrong with a little bit of silver here and there. Nothing wrong with a little bit of red for some cigars or wounds, or blood for the blood god for the extra juicy wounds. It's all up to you, and that's the cool thing about this. The rule of cool rules. That's why it's a rule, at least in my world. Anyway, so the first step, you've got a blank miniature. I'm going to show this directly because people don't believe me still when I say that most people are using way too little contrast. I just slop it all in there, and that's what it looks like. See, I got a little bit on the shoulder. Don't worry about it. It's going to be covered by like 5 other things. So this is what I call my sloppy style paint job. It usually ends up pretty decent in the end. Again, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have loaded that brush up with contrast. See? Look, I got some on the firearm. I've got some on that laser gun. That's okay. Totally fine. Little spillage is alright. Because later on, it's going to be covered by an even darker color. Step number 2 is going to be to lay the base colors. This is something that I've mentioned before in other videos, as well as online on our local Facebook painting group, QC Miniature Painting. Great group of people there. Is break the paint scheme down into its base parts. So this one, green, brown, flesh. Accents, simple accents on the weapon of black. Individually, you know, this is never going to be an award-winning type of paint job. I got it. No problem. This isn't meant to be that. This is meant to get your super huge horde armies on the table quickly and have them looking better than the gray nothingness. And it definitely helps when you've got 250 guardsmen. Looking at you, Morty and Glory. Anyway, focus. Next step, cover all of the uniform parts with the Militarum green. You'll see just by looking at it, you can see all kinds of brush strokes. That's okay, because this will be covered up. See, it's messy. That's perfectly fine. I don't know any military individual in the military, of any military, that spent any time in the field and looks parade ready. Next step is going to be the contrast snakebite leather. That's where you do the boots. Add a couple little accents here and there. See, I just thought that it'd be interesting to have something new and different on the helmets instead of just another piece of green armor. Throw some brown on there. Add some variation. Wondrous variety is wondrous. The next step, take the contrast black Templar, cover everything metal. It's really that simple. That's what it looks like when it dries with a moderate coat over a base of white primer. Speaking of white primer, the primer that I use is Rust-Oleum flat white primer, not Paint Plus primer. Paint Plus primer is a huge paint. It comes out super thick. It's like spraying your miniatures with oatmeal, like really gross oatmeal. Okay, it's maybe not that lumpy, but still. Anyway, so as you can see, I loaded that brush up really heavily. It's not focusing, I'm sorry. Really heavily. Slop it on. It's okay to be messy with this. You're not painting one showpiece, right? You're not painting 2 showpieces. You're not painting 20 showpieces. This is for horde armies. This is when you're painting on a weekend 50, 60 miniatures. I know that sounds crazy. I've seen you all's pile of shame. Shouldn't be a pile of shame. Should be a pile of pride. Because it means you're going to get lots of practice painting and turn out really, really good, right? Looks kind of thick, looks kind of sloppy. That's perfectly fine. I rinse the brush out, leave a little bit of water in it, but dry it off just a little bit. You can, hopefully this is focusing. You can moisture wick. Ooh, wait, is that copyrighted? I don't know, whatever. You can wick it away, wick the moisture away. Just by doing that. Okay? And that is the long and the short of doing the weapons. The next step is going to be the accents. It's the little things that really make a huge difference for armies. Okay? He's got red hair. I know, it's orange. Trust me, red hair is actually orange, just like buses are not yellow, they're orange. The yellow lines down the middle of the road, not yellow, they're orange. Don't believe me? Take a banana, take an orange. Stand next to a school bus. Ask all passerbys what color it is. Anyway, so you're going to be picking out the little details. In this case, I chose to use blue eyes, just as a theme for this army. I chose to use orange hair, again, just as a theme for this army. And that's just done spot painting. Don't spend too much time doing all the details, because these aren't characters. These aren't the people that are going to be standing out and everyone's staring at. This isn't Magnus, you know, or pick your Primarch, you know. Maybe for company commander or something. Do a little bit more. I threw some Blood for the Blood God on this one, which was a mistake because I still haven't varnished it yet. I'll redo the Blood for the Blood God so it's still shiny after protection. And that's one thing with this contrast paint, these contrast paints, you're going to want to spray some kind of protection on them. I know Krylon makes a really good flat clear. That's a whole nother video, is how to protect your miniatures, which I'll probably be doing in the near future. Right, so after you've done the accent colors, whatever they are, and again, try and keep it simple. These are things you want to plan out before you even get started in these. And I know I did about a half a dozen different test pieces in preparation for this project. And this is just what seemed to fall into what I liked, what looked good in a group, and still keeps it simple. The last thing, and I know there's a lot of people out there moaning and groaning, oh my gosh, it's all sloppy, it doesn't look all that good. That's fine. Again, I'm not making a showpiece, I'm creating an overall look for a large army of a whole bunch of individuals. So this is going to cover up a lot of your mistakes, or my mistakes as it were. If you take a look at this one, there's a lot of slop around the eyes, the ears, the cuffs. The weapon isn't fully covered. Heck, there's even a huge bald spot on the back of his head. I don't know how that's going to look when it's covered, but it's going to get covered. There's some missing places. See, at the bottom of that, little flashbang grenade there? That's okay. Nobody looks back there when you're playing. Honestly, I promise you. If you're playing against somebody who's really looking that close at your miniatures, I think they need to reevaluate their priorities. But that's just me. Whatever. So what you're going to do is load your paintbrush. Load it like it's never been loaded before with Agrax Earthshade, or whatever shade you decide. For these models, Agrax works great because it brings all the browns together, tones down the higher points of the flesh, the hair, the details. It might be something with a little bit more red in it. It might be with something with a little bit more yellow in it. It could be yellow. You know, there's many different things to choose from. I did some Tyranids that use Carabed Crimson. Yeah, as a final wash, believe it or not. Turned out really great. Made all the crevices nice and... I don't know if ichor or just the word moist would work best here. Anyway, so slather it on. I know it looks like too much, but it's not. It's okay. I promise you, it'll be all right. See how there's a bunch pooling? There's a whole bunch pooling on it. That's okay. Cool thing about this is you can go back in, wick it away. Especially, you can wick it away around the face where you want there to be a little bit of attention drawn to, like, say, a forehead. Get a minute or two to look at that. Take a little bit of that away, and that's going to draw the eye towards whatever part of the miniature that you're going to want people to see if they happen to see it on the tabletop. See? Okay, after that dries, that's what you're left with. Right there. Not too bad as it is, but those shoulder pads really bug me. So what I do is I take just a little bit of Castellan or Castellan. Somebody please correct me. Tell me how to pronounce that darn word. And just go real quick over. It's got very good coverage. Yes, it looks shiny right now. When it dries, it's not going to be shiny. There you go. So with this one, little details. He's got a little cherry kind of on the tip of his cigar. He's got some blue eyes. Solid color on the helmet. Solid color on the shoulder pads. Simple. Keep it simple. The simpler the better. At least for me. That's why you're probably watching this video. You want it easy, it can be easy. It can be as easy as you make it. There's the heavy weapons team. This, again, all primed white. That shows through. But it shows through as like a built-in highlight, like a natural... Oh, it's a little fuzzy on there. Sorry about that. That was weird. A built-in highlight for the weapons. And you want a showstopper? Take the time on it. You want an entire battalion of Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum Infantry, Tyranid, whatever the bugs are called, Necron Warriors, anything. It's all good. Please, 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 please. If you've lasted this long in this incredibly long video, I really appreciate it. Go to Facebook, Phoenix Designs Iowa, Instagram, Phoenix Designs Iowa. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be putting out a lot of interesting things. Well, interesting to me, so. Anyway, thanks again for your support. Thanks again for your interaction. I hope this helps somebody out there. If it does, like, share, subscribe. Let me know. I love the interactions. I love the comments. It's all welcome. Even a downvote, even a thumbs down. Anyway, have a great day. Have an excellent life. Do what's best for you and yours. Thanks a lot.